Have you ever caught yourself daydreaming about girls when you were supposed to be doing something important? Maybe you're in class, staring at your notes, but your mind drifts off to that one girl you saw on Instagram. Or you're at the gym, supposed to be focusing on your reps, but instead you're thinking about what it would be like if she texted you back. It feels like no matter what you do, you can't get rid of those thoughts. You're not alone. In fact, every guy goes through this at some point. Some get stuck in it for years, even decades. And here's the thing. It's not because you're weak, broken, or too thirsty. It's because your brain is wired to crave this kind of stimulation. And today's world takes full advantage of that. But here's the good news. Once you understand what's happening inside your mind, you can actually take control of it. You can train your focus, redirect your energy, and free yourself from that constant loop. And I promise you, once you do, your entire life changes. You'll have more confidence, more time, more energy, and, ironically, you'll actually become more attractive to girls because you're no longer desperate for their attention. So in this video, we're going to break this down into 3 big chapters. Chapter 1. Why you can't stop thinking about girls. Chapter 2. The hidden cost of obsessing over them. And Chapter 3. How to finally fix it, step by step. Stay with me until the end, because by the last chapter, I'll share a simple mindset shift that can completely change the way you think about women. And it might just be the breakthrough you've been waiting for. Chapter 1. Why you can't stop thinking about girls. Let's start with the big question. Why can't you stop thinking about girls? There are 2 main reasons. The first is biology. The second is psychology. 1. Biology. Your brain is wired for this. Your brain is designed to notice and pursue women. For thousands of years, survival depended on reproduction. Every man alive today is here because his ancestors paid attention to women, fought for them, and passed on their genes. That ancient programming hasn't disappeared just because you live in the modern world. When you see a girl you find attractive, your brain floods with dopamine, that little chemical that says, "Yes, this feels good. Do it again." The problem is, in the past, men had to actually earn those rewards. They had to hunt, build, and compete. Today, you can just open TikTok or Instagram and be hit with endless images. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a real opportunity and a 5-second video loop. It just keeps giving you the dopamine hit. So, the cycle continues. 2. Psychology. What's missing inside? But it's not just biology. Sometimes, constantly thinking about girls is really about filling a void. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, a friend of mine, we'll call him Mike, was always chasing women. Every conversation circled back to dating, hookups, or who he thought was hot. But underneath, he was really struggling. He was bored with his job, had no clear goals, and honestly, felt pretty lonely. So thinking about girls became his escape. Every time he felt lost, his mind drifted toward fantasies, because it was easier than facing the reality of where his life was. Sound familiar? This is the part most guys miss. When you can't stop thinking about girls, sometimes it's not about them at all. It's about you. It's about your need for validation, for comfort, for distraction. So if you've ever wondered, why can't I stop? The answer is a mix of hardwired biology and unmet needs inside yourself. But here's the twist. The more you give in to those thoughts, the stronger the loop becomes. Which brings us to the next chapter. Chapter 2. The hidden cost of always thinking about girls. You might think, okay, so I think about girls a lot. What's the big deal? It's natural, right? Yes, it's natural. But here's the part most men don't realize. There's a real cost to letting your mind stay stuck in that loop. 1. Lost focus and energy. Think about it. How many hours have you lost scrolling through social media, imagining conversations, or replaying scenarios in your head? Every time you do, you're giving away your most valuable resource, your attention. That's the same attention you could be putting into your fitness, your career, your hobbies, or your dreams. It's like having a phone that's constantly running apps in the background. Even when you're not actively using it, your battery is draining. 2. Erosion of confidence. Here's another cost. Your confidence takes a hit. When you feel like you can't control your own mind, it creates this silent insecurity. You start to feel needy, dependent, and desperate for something outside of yourself to make you feel okay. And ironically, the more you chase, the less attractive you become. Women can sense when a guy is obsessed, when his energy is too focused on them instead of himself. They don't want to be put on a pedestal. They want someone grounded, someone confident, someone in control. 3. Missed opportunities. Every hour you spend lost in thoughts about girls is an hour you're not spending building yourself. Let me put it this way. Imagine two guys. One spends his nights scrolling, fantasizing, and thinking. The other spends those same hours learning a skill, improving his health, and building his vision. Fast forward 2 years. Who do you think girls are naturally drawn to? Exactly. So yes, constantly thinking about girls might feel harmless, but it quietly robs you of the life you could be building. And the longer you stay stuck in that loop, the harder it becomes to break free. Which brings us to the part you've been waiting for. Chapter 3. How to fix it. So how do you stop? The key is not to completely erase attraction. That's impossible. The key is to take control of your mind so attraction doesn't control you. Here are 5 steps to start with. 1. Limit the triggers. Think about where most of your thoughts come from. Social media? Dating apps? TV shows? Clean your environment. Unfollow those accounts. Cut back on the endless scrolling. Create space where your brain isn't constantly bombarded. This isn't about discipline alone. It's about designing your environment so the temptation isn't always in your face. 2. Build purpose that pulls you forward. When you're locked in on a mission, you don't have as much time or energy to obsess. Purpose is like gravity. It keeps pulling your attention back to what matters. Ask yourself, what's something I could dedicate the next 6 months to? A project, a business idea, a skill? Start building. 3. Train your mind like a muscle. Here's something most guys never do. They never train their attention. Try meditation. Even 5 minutes a day where you notice your thoughts and bring them back. Journaling works too. When your mind is racing, write it out. Over time, you'll strengthen your ability to notice and redirect. 4. Channel energy into your body. Physical activity is one of the fastest ways to reset your brain. Lift weights. Run. Try martial arts. Not only does this release stress, but it also gives you a healthy dopamine hit. Movement is medicine. 5. Build real connections. Finally, don't forget the bigger picture. Thinking about girls all day keeps you in fantasy. But when you build yourself, build confidence, and create real connections, you actually start living the experiences your brain has been chasing. And here's the mindset shift I promised. Stop looking at women as the source of your happiness. Start looking at them as a part of the bigger picture you're already building. When you stop making them the center of your world, you finally become the kind of man who naturally attracts them. So let's wrap this up. You can't stop thinking about girls because your brain is wired for it, and because you might be using those thoughts as a distraction from deeper needs. But the cost of staying stuck in that loop is huge. Lost time, lost focus, and lost confidence. The way out isn't to deny attraction, it's to take control of it. By limiting triggers, building purpose, training your mind, using your body, and creating real connections, you start shifting the focus back to what really matters. Your growth, your future, your life. And here's the secret. When you finally stop chasing, you start attracting. When you stop obsessing, you start leading. So the next time your mind starts to drift, remember, you're not broken, you're just wired. And with the right steps, you can rewire. If you found this helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. What's one step you're going to take this week to reclaim your focus? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.